Does anyone know what we mean by a mind dump? Yes, so Carolyn was there when we did one. Yeah, we did Carolyn's at a live training, LBL training. Basically, lots of people often say to us, I can't do a live, I don't know what to post, I don't know what to say, I just don't know what to say. I don't feel like I have anything worth saying. So one of the ways that we help to extract this from you is by doing a mind dump. Basically, we're going to go through Martin's life, and you're going to do it later yourselves, and just put down anything that comes to your head. So whether it be an experience, whether it be a person that you've met, a person that you met but in hindsight you didn't want to meet, anything, whether it be positive, negative, like completely, Jesus, then you just need to put that down without really thinking about it. And then we expand out, and that's how you build your social media. Yeah? Because every experience that you have had is worth sharing. You learned something from that. Strong chance it helped you shape your values, which you all went through earlier. Okay? So we're going to go through Martin. So this is Martin. So just a couple of things.
That's happened in my life?
Yeah, random things. Anything.
So the depression, moving to Australia, building the businesses, so self-employed, mining, Bessie, relationships. I think. Divorce. My mum and dad.
And Jez in the future.
It just happened to come out that time, mate. But thank you.
So as we're doing this, you'll start to think of things that happen in your life.
I suppose mental health would be depression, but yeah, it's probably the best one at the top, yeah. Confidence. Will that do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then, once you've got the first sort of layer, I guess, the first things that come to your head, we then focus on one and expand from that, okay? So we're going to start with divorce, basically, because it's here.
Yeah, so that was mum and dad.
Yeah.
So I always had a massive fear when I was growing up that mum and dad were going to get divorced. I always knew that they would, but it was a massive fear of mine. And they ended up getting divorced around about, I'm going to say, 24 or 25 years of age for me. So I was in a position of an age where I could deal with it. Yeah. But I always knew they would. So.
And how did it make you feel when they divorced?
I actually was glad because I saw the breakdown of the relationship. I saw how it was very much my dad became very dependent on my mum, and my mum just didn't really like that, and my dad was being very lazy, and my mum was very outgoing and very energetic, and you could just see that the energies were completely different, and it was very, like, even when I'd sit at the dinner table, my brother had left, so I'd sit at the dinner table, and my dad would be like, carrots aren't cooked properly. You know, like the stupid little things, and I'm just sat there going, just be grateful for the food. And my mum's tired and just not interested, so then there'd be like an argument. So. Yeah, but my dad's beautiful, by the way. Dad's great fun, but it was just at the end of the journey.
So I don't know if any of you were watching me as he was talking then, but I was just pulling out random words that were associated to. He's obviously telling a story, and that's what you're going to do. Your life is a story. You just need to associate words to it. So watching and witness. He was talking about how he was watching the relationship breakdown. He was watching how his dad was treating his mum. Yeah, things like that. He was glad. There were different energies in the relationship. Yeah? Okay, let's go Australia.
There was excitement. There was also fear. So I was excited about coming over here, but I'd never actually been here, and I was leaving what was the reality for 27 years, and walking away from a business, and to come and live somewhere I'd never been. And I had residency. I don't like I said, I don't do anything in halves. I actually got residency before I came out, so I was committed.
So you never been to Australia on holiday?
Well, I'd already gone through the application to be here, and I came over for a week in Perth just for a holiday, but I was already coming here.
Yeah.
So it was that thing of, you arrive, you burn the boat, so you can't leave. So, and that's literally how I've done everything. So committed, no excuse. This isn't going to work. It will work. So there was obviously fear that I was walking. I had left everything. I left security. So that was the fear. I only knew my soccer manager and his family, like his wife and kids, and that was it. So, and they obviously they have a complete. I'm a single guy coming in at 27 years of age. His wife wouldn't let him go out with me. So it was a bit tough. Yeah. I used to be a menace back then. Yeah.
Let's go self-employment.
Yeah, so at 21 I went self-employed, building homes and apartments with my best mate's dad. We partnered up. So I was excited about that. I was actually more excited at the fact that I was employed, and the guy who employed me, as much as he really valued my skill levels, his son wanted to take control. So it was actually me being, this is what I can do, this is who I'm going to be. And standing on my own 2 feet was a big thing for me. So that gave me massive amounts of confidence to go on and, well, obviously just grow and do my own thing, and not be dictated to. I just realized that I don't want to be controlled. I don't want somebody telling me what I can and can't do. So I was self-employed from 21 to 32, and then I went working in the mines.
Why did you stop being self-employed?
Because I actually had quite a few injuries, and I had to change my career. So I changed into the fitness industry, which has always been a passion. But I wanted to work in the mines. That's where I met Hugh. And it was very hard from an angle of, I used to build homes and apartments on price. So I'd get there, smash it out, work hard, get away as early as I could. I was usually on site 7:30, away by 2:00, in the gym, and chilling out of an evening. And now I was back being told what to do by people, in all fairness, that shouldn't have been up there, shouldn't have been in a place of management. So now it's being dictated to by just people it was all about what the resume looks like. So although I loved it, I loved my role, I loved the residents, I loved everything I did. And obviously then came in the mental breakdowns.
So let's go
Mining.
over to mining now. So
Yep.
this is after this you moved into this.
Yeah. So I loved
What
the fact.
words?
I just loved the connection with residents. I loved helping them with their health or the excitement of a new career. It was just so much fun. I was being paid to keep fit and help other people. It was fantastic. And it was a job, because I didn't want to go and work as a personal trainer, self-employed in a gym, because I looked around at them and everyone that I spoke to wasn't happy. They weren't really earning decent money. They were slogging themselves, and I'm going, I'm over that. I actually want to go in an environment, and I knew I could earn good money, and I knew I could add value. So it's like, well, safe job, 2-in-1, good roster. I'll go and do it.
Marty, would you, have you always been a positive thinker, or have you acquired that?
I've always been a solution thinker. It's a really good question that have I always been a positive thinker. The reason why I say that, I'm sorry to just interrupt this, but the reason why I say it is because up until the depression and literally until I went into the hospital, and I've got a lot to thank Hugh for this, really, because Hugh's very passionate about religion, and I got some very clear messages from God. Like, there's whether you believe in God or not, I got some very clear messages as to me being here and my purpose for being here. Now, and Hugh at the time was praying for me. I remember when we got together, and he said, "Do you mind if I pray for you?" And I'm like, "No, absolutely, I love it." So, and if you haven't spoken to Hugh, I really encourage you. He's one of the most beautiful beings you'll ever speak to. He's amazing. So, I realized when I went through what I went through that my past had been existing. It'd been in existence. And it was only when I became aware of that I actually realized what happiness really was. So everything I'd been doing, it was just going along on the hamster wheel. And it took, like some people, when you talk about quantum shifts, some people have them from a dream. I had to get literally punched so hard that it knocked me off my feet. And I landed on my back. Unfortunately, like Wes Brown says, when you can see up, you can get up.
Yeah, that's good.
And I went, do you know what? That's when everything changed around me, and I started being far more grateful for everything that had happened in my past, but actually making me go, do you know what? It's now to live a life of positivity. It's now to live a place of happiness. If I'm waking up this morning, it's a great day. If those eyes open, it's a great day. Only my thoughts are going to change that. So
beautiful segue. Let's jump up here to the depression and the mental health stuff.
Yeah.
Words that come to mind when you think about that.
Passion, love, pain, even though it's hard to go there now, but pain, frustration, connection, support.
Connection.
With others, honesty, authenticity, help.
What about when you were at your lowest? What were you feeling?
Worthless. No value. A burden.
And who was around you? What was happening?
Well, on site was the staff. So there's quite a lot of bullying took place up there. My fiance at the time, her dad was a huge influence, positively or negatively. Don't know who else was around. Well, Hugh. Then there was the nurses and the doctors and so on, and the psychiatrists from the mental institute. And that was in the lowest.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Not necessarily your depression, but mental health.
Big pun. The depression.
Sorry.
Notice how I pulled her up. She said, your depression. So she's then having an attachment to me. It's not mine. I was just choosing to carry it.
He always tells me.
I said, pardon. So I questioned her because she knows that I say the depression. Because if I say my depression, I'm owning it. And I'm carrying it. Like, I'm pretty confident you're cool with me saying this. So Ricky reached out to me a couple of months ago, and he was diagnosed with, Ricky's the guy at the back, the gentleman at the back, top guy. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Started looking at his life in regards to how he can become healthier. Now, somebody with cancer would say, my cancer. But at any time, you can let go of it. Now, that's easy for me to say, and I'm not being rude here. I'm being 100% respectful. But the moment we have an attachment to something, we carry that. So if I wanted to let go of that depression, that's why I never say my depression. The depression. I chose to let go of it, and that's why I was able to bounce forward. Not bounce back. Why do I want to go back to where I was? I want to bounce forward. That's from Sam Cawthorne, by the way.
Yeah, good steal. Mental health.
So, mental health. Well, I lit up. Like, I'm just passionate about speaking about it and sharing, empowering others. I used to be extremely shy boy. Extremely shy, believe it or not. So Like, for me to be doing this now, my mum, like, it's just see the smile on her because it's really, whoa, this guy's turned around. So, and to be talking about things that I'm really passionate about, like mental health, because all I'm doing is sharing my experiences, sharing my beliefs, sharing my values.
Okay, let's go down relationships.
Yeah, basically, as I mentioned earlier, the girls that I've been with have molded me from a relationship angle. Idolised my cousin growing up, who's 8 years older than me. He races motorbikes, and I was brought up on motorbikes and cars and fast things and toys and all that kind of stuff. So, relationships, obviously, Dave's best mate here. I've got great mates back in the UK, but brother from another mother. Family.
Don't count.
I can't talk about everybody.
Divorce.
You're up here.
Obviously, family members. My brother and I respect each other, but are challenged with each other all the time. I only found out recently that my brother's always felt like I've disempowered him, like I've always put him down, which was interesting because I never knew I was, but obviously that was his perception. That was where he was choosing to feel. So, my relationship with my, I've had a great relationship with my mum all my life. I'm definitely a mummy's boy. Like Dave says, there's boys that are mummy's boys, and then there's boys that wish they were. So, yeah. Great relationship with my dad as well, but more so my mum. My dad is the person who instilled grind. You work hard. My dad had multiple jobs. We really struggled to put food on the table. So if I wanted any name clothing, I had to actually go out and buy it myself. But
Talking about your blood dad,
yeah. I forgot about my stepdad there. Dave, my stepdad Dave. Oh, I can't get rid of him. Dave.
Oh, yeah.
They're everywhere.
So, joke grenade. And yeah, my stepdad Dave's phenomenal. So my big concern with because my connection to my mum was so strong. We used to go to the gym. My mum's a little Italian lady. She's 5'4". No, hang on a minute. No, she's 4'11".
Yeah.
She's 4'11".
She's
Sorry.
not taller than you.
She's 4'11", so she's like this big.
About Jez height.
Yeah, she's 4'11". She used to say a half, but she's not. So 4'11". Now we used to go and do boxercise. Does anybody know boxercise? Yeah. Well, basically the way that the trainer would start would be, go and find somebody who's a similar size to you. And I actually used to be a lot bigger and like phenomenally ripped. And then there's this little lady. And anybody that was new that didn't know us would be like, no way. He's going to knock her out the bloody building. But could she fight? She was known as the most feared woman in North Road, which was the road we lived on. Little Italian lady, frightening us. My mates were terrified of her. And what I used to do, when I held like the big pad, and she's supposed to be punching, she'd kick it. But she'd kick it and she'd kick me in the nuts. So I'm always like this as I go in with the pads. And everyone would always be encouraging her to whack me. And because when she had hold of the pad, I couldn't hit it, I'd just go really fast and light. But she'd be laughing her head off at how fast I'd be going, that she was falling over anyway. So when I left at 27, it broke her heart because our relationship was so strong. So when my stepdad came in, and it was funny because my mum went to say, I don't know if it's a psychic or what, but the psychic had said, one of you two boys is really going to struggle with Dave. And she said, it'll be Martin. And it wasn't, it was my brother. I welcomed him in because he's such a beautiful guy that really does love and care about my mum. And after being in the environment of seeing what was going on, that's what she needed. So if I knew that I was able to leave and come over here knowing that she had that support. Because if she didn't, I genuinely don't know if I'd be here now. Because that's how strong of a connection. I always used to go in on a Sunday when my mum was baking and sit in the kitchen in the back corner while she's baking away and just talk to her like a best mate. Tell her about what the boys had been up to. She shouldn't really have known, but, you know. And Darren did this, Mum. She's like, wait till I see Darren. And Darren would come. Darren's 6'4". She's like, you! And I'm at the back of the kitchen like... So that's probably a bit on relationships.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about Bessie?
My guardian angel. So
For those who don't know, it's his dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bessie was my first girlfriend's dog.
In Australia.
When I came to Australia. Yeah, so I met Bessie when I was 3, and when I actually went through to Nikki was my girlfriend at the time. She ended up being my fiance. We were together 5.5 years. But when I walked in there and met Nikki for the first time in a house, Bessie came bolting over and literally just jumped on me, and I was playing, and Nikki said, just the way that you two got on was one of the reasons why I was like, I need to be with this guy. Just from that. Now, she's a very intuitive dog, and when Nikki and I broke up, she was like, you need to take her. And I really struggled to have that detachment from Bessie. She's like, she just looks all the time out the window looking for you. Like, just sits on the front, because we had a little bay window. She'd just sit there, and she'd like look at Nikki when she came home from work and just wait. She's like, you need to take her. That was the same when I worked away in the mines. It took her 2 days to actually go and eat a dinner, because she just was waiting for me and waiting for me and waiting for me. I used to get dropped off at the top of the hill and walk down so she wouldn't know I'd arrived. So she's been my guardian angel and my rock, and very connected, especially when I talk around the mental health stuff. She knew what was going on. Like, when I talk about the story, I won't go into it, but she knew exactly what was going on. So she's just my absolute rock. And one of the things that I covered was that oh, crikey, I can't believe it's got me again, was that she's 12. So she's coming to an age now where she's getting to the way to move on. And I've looked at it from the angle of, when she moves on, I don't need her anymore. I'm ready to step up. So there's obviously that fear that when she goes, it's time. But I want her to enjoy that time, because we've worked so hard. So that's been a really big one with Bessie. But anyway, let's talk about divorcing Jeremiah. That's more fun.
Thanks for that.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Can I have some too?
I'll tell you one thing, you will make a fabulous dad when it happens one day.
Thank you. Very masculine.
There's a couple over here that are just hiding it very well. I can see you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Beth.
I'm sorry. You did this to me as well. What the hell? Let's go to confidence.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I used to be super shy, so the confidence that's really come out 100% has been from going right down to the lowest point in my life. So even though I was confident, like Hugh would have seen me up there, it was because I was really passionate about what I was doing when I was doing the fitness and stuff. So it was what was interesting when I reflect and actually just mentioning that is I was doing something I was passionate about that brought the confidence out in me. But to actually do what I do now, where like speaking and so on and being so comfortable, because I would never have done this, back in the day. The confidence level just oozes out of me because of how happy I am from making others become happy. Yeah.
Where were you at 19?
Where was I at 19?
19, yeah.
In regards to the destination in the UK?
In life.
Yeah, in life.
Where were
At 19, I was, mate, all it was for me at 19 was actually cars, motorbikes, working as my carpentry job.
I was going to say
19. 19, I actually probably had just become single, only for a short period. Vin Petrol, yeah.
Petrol.
My nickname, because I used to be in the car scene, was Vin Petrol, because I wasn't as big as Vin Diesel. So, that wasn't my nickname. Genuine. I had a YouTube account, Vin Petrol and everything, yeah. I don't know exactly, but I was obviously in the UK, but it was very much around just was working a job then, doing my building stuff, but it was all about gym, cars, girls, partying up with my mates.
I've got a lot of friends like that.
Yeah. Most of my mates were.
You're supposed to be doing at 19. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Is there a reason why you asked that question?
Because I'm 19, I just wanted to see if I could relate to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a bit stuck because a lot of what you said up there applies to me. But, when you think of someone like me, that's 19 and doesn't really, they come to an event like this and they're trying to learn something, they can be trapped by their past still because it's so fresh in their minds and their hearts. And you're trying to move on from that. And it's a little bit bigger than just, let's try and get motivated. It's bigger than that.
Totally.
It's like, let's find someone that can relate to. And I found that I could relate to you. And I'm just in that point in my life where, I want to see how you turn that all around for yourself. How did you block all of that out and grow from that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great questions. I just want to pick up on a word there, and I'm not picking, not necessarily, I'm not picking on you at all. What's your name, sorry? Asher. I'm not picking on you, Asher. Trying. There was a guy who said to me, that I need to be at this event at the weekend. I'm going to try and come. And I said, well, you're not going to be here. Yeah. What do you mean? I said, you said you're going to try. You either are or you're not. When you said before about trying to actually grow, trying to learn more, you're already doing it by being in the room. Yeah. By just showing up, you're already here. Yeah. Ricky? Yeah?
Can I just say the lad as well? You're 19.
Yeah.
You're not trying to change too many things. You should be 58 maybe. Slow it down, but don't get yourself too concerned with being the can or power or having to be who you are, and your life will evolve and evolve. You've got to enjoy it, take the ups and downs as they come, and just slow it down.
Yeah.
You're chasing someone else. At 19, you're just starting out. Seriously.
I mean, it's really powerful, like you said, that connecting with somebody, irrelevant of their age and what they've done, especially somebody who's gone through whatever level of pain. And remember that it's only a judgment as to the level of pain. Like what I went through was rock bottom for me. But people have probably fallen even further. And some people, it's not even taken that much to go rock bottom for them. It's only a judgment. So when people say, like some people say, I can't connect with you because it's too deep. You're not supposed to connect with me then. But just understand that we can turn it around. It's irrelevant of what the depth is. We can all turn anything around. But just being here, Asher, good work. Even at 19, good work. Because I tell you what, I wish I knew about this stuff at 19. And more importantly, absolutely, and more importantly, I wasn't even open to it at 19. You are. That is tapping into your greatness, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it won't be long before. Out the way, Bally. I'm on that shirt talking. Good work, mate. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would want to add at this stage before
No,
I start
I think that's
probing?
all good. Yeah. I'm just conscious of time as well.
So I'm not going to probe this area because I don't want my mascara to run any further.
Neither do I.
I want to probe a little bit more around your mum.
Yeah.
So her influence on you growing up and from sort of your first memories, anything that comes to mind?
I don't necessarily have a first memory, but I don't know whether it's just been kind of tapped into me. My mum was wild. So, and it's funny actually with your hair. My mum actually, when I was only a kid, so I think I was only like 6, she shaved all the hair off this side and had it like right down to the bone, and had all her hair this side. And my mum said when we were walking back, my brother and I from school, because she used to walk us back from school, all I kept doing was like this. And by the time we got home, I had said to my mum, "You've got no hair on the side of your head, Mum." And she's like, "I know, Martin." Oh. So that, like, I don't know whether it's just been because she's told it me and I can visualize myself, but I really have a strong connection to that because my mum was so outgoing and just so much fun. Why did she do it? She just wanted to be different. Like she went in, I think she went into the hairdressers and the hairdresser said, "What do you want?" And she's like, "I don't know. What do you want to do?" And she's like, well, I've got this really rad idea. Mum's like, do it. My dad went mad. My dad went mad.
I think she set a trend then. What's the boy?
Yeah, she hates this though.
How tall is the stepdad?
Oh, he's only small.
He's only small.
Yeah, he's only like 5'3", maybe. Yeah. But my dad's only 5'9". My dad's not big. Both my brother and I are taller than my mum and dad. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to put Martin on the spot and just give an example of how we use, because we actually do this when we do Martin's social media plan. Like, we literally sit in the office and do this and then look at his values and make them cross over. So tell me one of your values.
Love.
Okay, now I want you to talk about the divorce in relation to different energy in love, if it was your love day, as if you were doing a live, just so these people have an example of what you would do.
Love in the divorce and different energy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm easy when I press the blue button.
Just to give you a button.
Yeah. So, energy, divorce. Okay. Basically, I'm going to start with, this is exactly how I do it. Have you ever felt the energy of somebody that you love and you care about, and it's held you back from really wanting to go where you want to go? Yes. This is my life. You can't interrupt my life. Or have you just waved at me?
I'm just saying, yeah, been there.
Oh, right.
Good
Okay,
work.
sorry. Yeah. So, I can totally relate because my mum and dad got divorced quite a few years ago. However, I remember being sat in the room with them, and they're right in front of me on the table, and one's actually being rude to the other one, and the other one just doesn't know what to do. Very much a powerful masculine energy against the feminine energy. And in that moment, I really learned about the power of what love truly is, because all that we need to do is be the best version of ourselves, and all that we need to do is respect that other people are going on their own journey. And sometimes divorce is a beautiful thing, because what can be created from it is the fact that people are being allowed to be free and grow. And now what has happened from that divorce is that my dad found somebody else who he's very happy with. My mum found somebody else that she's very happy with. And they get along, all the four of them, far better than when my mum and dad were together. So something beautiful can come from actually separation. So I encourage you to look at your life and think about the areas where you can let go of to help not only yourself grow, but those other people around you grow to actually find what they came here to do. Thank you for your time. As always, peace, love, and happiness.
Bye for now.
And then that created you. Don't forget that.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I chose my parents. I am the person I am because I chose them in a past life. Yeah, I believe that.
Okay, so that's basically what you're going to do. Mark's going to give you a little bit of a chat.
So I want to talk about now the reason why. I mentioned it yesterday about why I'm so passionate about what I do. Some of you have heard this before, but it's one of the most powerful things I ever heard in my time of actually doing personal development. If that's you right there, and I said to you, I'm going to give you $20 to walk across a plank or run across a plank that's just on a brick and a brick high in this room, would you do it? Would you do it? You'd all do it? Hand on heart? Right, okay. If I put that plank 100 stories up, would you do it? For $20?
200.
Times are tough. What about if I put your child or somebody you love on the other side of a burning building? Would you still want the $20?
No.
You want to be thinking about the $20. The why's changed. The why's changed, but you're still doing the same task that you all said no for. But you would sprint across that plank, grab the person that you love, the child, whether it be, and you'd sprint back. No hesitations, because you would be focused on what you needed to do. You would not be focusing now on that. So, what drives you every day? We've got to look past materialistic things. No pun intended, if it's a vehicle. We've got to look past materialistic things because they come and go. What is driving you? What's propelling you? All that there is driving me every single day. That's what drives me to do what I'm here to do. Who do you choose? Why do you choose to be here right now? Not just in this room right now, but in your life. Because in any moment, you can change the direction of your life. It's a choice. It's a decision. Choosing to stay where you are is your own choice. It's nobody else that's causing that. It's your own choice. I could have chose to stay in the mines, but I knew there was something more for me. It was hard to walk away from 130K to zero. But it had to happen. Why do you want to have more money? Ask yourself why you want to have more money, because the reality of it is that is not going to make you happy. The reason why people earn more money is because they grow and they develop into something more powerful, better than they are. That's why a lot of people who win the lottery lose it, because they've not grown with it. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and he talks about the power of growing.
Before we go on, I just make one quick point on this. A lot of us have been, or a lot of people here will have been in an MLM, before direct sales, whatever it be, and have done something with the why. We're not doing it today, but you'll have been told in those environments when you do your why, and you'll have sat and listened to other people say their whys, and heard all of these enormous, esoteric, life-changing, world-changing things that people say. And we think we've got to have something amazing. And you don't. For me, all I care about is being able to be home with my family. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about cars and houses. I want to be able to be with my now daughter. I always said with my children when I have them, with my daughter as much as possible, and to be able to travel freely as I wish. That's it. Everything else doesn't matter. So if you don't want to change the world truly, authentically, stop saying it. And the reason why I know for the people that say it, it isn't true, because if you meant it, they'd be out doing it. The people who care go and do it. Mother Teresa went and did it. People go and work in the missions and do it. So if actually all you want to be is the best mum or the best person or have a flashy car or have a Rolex, whatever it be, just own it and have that, because then when you've got something that's locked in, that's true and authentic, only then will you pursue it. And for Martin, he did not want to go back and have a normal job. And that's it. So important for you to be honest and know what your true why is. Because while you're lying to yourself, thinking you need something that impresses others, it will never be worth it to you.
I just want to be home every day with Bessie. Cuddles.